Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. If you've never been here before, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Click the bell next to the subscribe button so you're notified every time a new video goes up on BrainFLoTv. Hulk Hogan just passed away, and we're finding out now that Brooke Hogan, Hulk Hogan's daughter, was removed from his will. Now you're talking about $25 million, and she will not benefit from any of that money. Some sources are saying that Brooke removed herself from her father's will, which I highly doubted. But there's another story that's being told by Brooke's own husband, who was close to the situation and knows it more than anybody else. Stay tuned for this shocker. So the first headline says Brooke Hogan, which is Hulk Hogan's daughter, she was removed from his will at her own request back in 2023. Why, you ask? Because she felt distrustful of the people who surrounded her father, and she wanted to avoid potential financial battles after his death. So while she will not inherit from the will, she'll be all right. She herself is worth about $2 to $4 million, and she is the beneficiary of his life insurance trust. This is a trust that was set up by Hulk Hogan, and she plans to use the payout from that for her children's college funds. In other words, I don't need it, I'll give it to his grandkids, kind of thing, according to reports from sports news sites. So Brooke's decision actually stemmed from a desire to protect her father from those people that she perceived as taking advantage of him, even though he and her disagreed on her views on that matter. Her husband, Steve Oleski, revealed that Brooke felt hurt by the situation, that she was removed from the will, and sought to distance herself from potential conflict surrounding her father's estate. Now, despite this, Brooke still expresses her love and her gratitude for her father and the bond that they shared, stating that their relationship was eternal, lasting forever. She loves him beyond this world. So that's one take on it. Now, there was a time when Brooke actually had a black man in her life, or her black ex-boyfriend then. It is widely known that her father, Hulk Hogan, was highly displeased that his daughter was dating a black man. He was very vocal about it, and many people heard racist rants coming from Hulk Hogan, to include the N-word with a hard ER at the end. Oh, clutch your pearls. Hulk Hogan was a racist, said some people. I wasn't there. I don't know. But I'm putting this all into perspective based on information that's out here. So, I just found out that a sex tape was actually leaked of Brooke Hogan and her black boyfriend. Now, being a father of two girls, I wouldn't want to be an adult and see a sex tape leaked of my daughter. I would think that somebody was in on this. Maybe this black dude was only having sex with my daughter to get himself further in life because she is Hulk Hogan's daughter. And somebody must have filmed that sex tape in an intimate setting and then released it to the public for money. So Hulk Hogan, in one aspect of all this, had every right to be angry after a sex tape was leaked of his daughter. But we're going to get into the details of how this connects to Brooke not being in his will. Very interesting. So, according to how this part of the story goes, let's run it down from the top. So Hulk Hogan's daughter, Brooke, she's out of his will, right? Hulk Hogan's daughter won't inherit a dime from his will, his estate, after their rift towards the end of his life. The WWE legend died at the age of 71 after suffering a fatal cardiac arrest. Brooke revealed on Tuesday that she had to step away to protect her heart in the final 2 years of her father's life. And not only did she remove herself from his everyday life, she also removed herself from his will. The 37-year-old, because that's how old Brooke is now, she is married to former NFL player Steven Oleski. She actually feared being caught up in a bitter financial battle after her father passed. So, you're on the well, your father might have bills and he might owe people money and all this other stuff. You'll get caught in the middle, running here, there, and everywhere trying to sort that out. She didn't want to be a part of all that. Brooke reportedly did not trust. This story gets pretty different. Hold on. Brooke reportedly did not trust anyone in Hulk Hogan's circle and asked to be removed as a beneficiary of his estate in 2023, the same year as her final conversation with her father. She hadn't spoken to him much since then. They broke their relationship since then. The television personality's priority had always been to protect her famous father from those who she felt were taking advantage of him and whatever fame or whatever fortune came with the wrestling legend. Brooke reportedly attempted to address the issue with her father, but after years of it falling on deaf ears and disagreeing with him over the matter, she contacted his financial manager and made the decision on her own to be excluded from his will. Wait till you find out why. Wait till you find out more. So while she is said to be disheartened by Hulk Hogan, like he didn't trust her to have his best interest at heart, she has never been motivated by his fortune. If she was, she would have easily left herself in the will and would have inherited a whopping amount after he passed. Hulk Hogan's estate is estimated around $25 million today. It is currently unclear who exactly will inherit that estate, with the trademarks and the intellectual properties and other assets that are worth millions as well. Brooke, she is still set to receive some money from a small life insurance trust that Hulk Hogan took out, according to the report. Brooke, as one of the beneficiaries, is grateful for the sum, and like I said before, she said she'll use it towards his grandkids, towards their college fund. She recently welcomed twins into the world, a boy and a girl, with her husband in January. However, Hulk Hogan never met his grandchildren before his death, despite efforts from Brooke's husband to reconcile the estranged father-daughter relationship, because he's in the middle and he thought it's the manly thing to do. Come on, your grandfather is Hulk Hogan. Brooke, work this out with your dad. Her husband tried. Hulk welcomed Brooke as well as son Nick, 35, with ex-wife Linda, whom he was married to from 1983 to 2009. He later tied the knot with another woman, Jennifer McDaniel, in 2010 until their divorce in 2021. 2 years later, Hulk Hogan said, "I do" to Sky Daly, and the pair were married up until his death on Thursday. So Hulk Hogan was married a total of 3 times. His latest marriage came and lasted only a few years into his death. Brooke and her father last spoke nearly 2 years ago in September of 2023, only weeks before he married his third wife, Sky Daly. You could imagine she probably didn't even approve of Sky Daily. So on that call, Brooke expressed love and concern for her father, telling him that he shouldn't be working so hard due to his declining health. Like, slow down and take care of yourself. Despite her pleas for him to enjoy more of his life, those requests fell on deaf ears. The pair didn't speak again. According to Brooke, all the people around Hulk were there for whatever they can get from him. They kept him working, they kept him running, they kept him moving around, doing stuff constantly on a hectic schedule. And she felt like that was messing up his health even more. His wife seems significantly younger than he is, and they don't know who's going to inherit his $25 million estate now, but I'm willing to bet that she's going to get a sizable chunk of that estate. She married the old man, and she came up good financially. So, despite multiple attempts for her husband to fix their relationship, including when Brooke almost died in childbirth, Hulk Hogan responded coldly, callously, and never made an effort to meet his daughter's twins. I guess he thought he had more time left on Earth. So back in March, Linda accused her former husband of being a complete liar and a sex addict. She also claimed that their family is in the worst mess after Brooke cut both parents out of her life. Brooke later retaliated, hitting back at her mom by alleging that her dad was not the only reason behind the shocking family divide, claiming that she was verbally and mentally abused during her childhood. So after Brooke's stunning response, Linda then took a dramatic U-turn by defending Hulk Hogan and branding her daughter a narcissist. So I guess because her daughter would not agree with her of all the bad things she said about her ex-husband, Hulk Hogan, the mother then turned on the daughter and switched her story. So Brooke broke her silence on the family feud Tuesday in the wake of her father's death, claiming that she and her dad never fought, but rather they just felt the need to step away from each other to protect her own emotions. She was telling me these things, he was telling me these things, being so vulnerable with me, and heard my pleas. Then suddenly something shifted, and he made a choice to walk the path that clearly tore at his spirit, she wrote in a statement that was shared on Instagram. It said, "I felt a disconnect. What followed were respectful disagreements that took an emotional toll on me. During the last 2 years, I had to step away to protect my heart. My husband stayed open, quietly reaching out to my dad without me knowing, trying to find a safe way to bring us back in. After my father passed, I read those messages. Some were answered and some were ignored, but all of them broke my heart." Even amid their estrangement, Brooke and her husband, Steven, found a touching way to honor the wrestling icon. The couple included a sweet nod to Hogan in the name of their twins. It was revealed last week. Their daughter's full name is Molly Jean Oleski, the same middle name as Hulk Hogan. "I know in my heart I did everything I could," Brooke said. "He knew that I would run through a burning building for him, and in many ways, along the path of life, I did. He knows how deeply, how hard, and how purely I loved him. I am at peace knowing this." Oleski, Brooke's husband, who is known for his stints with the NHL, National Hockey League, team, the Washington Capitals, and Pittsburgh Penguins, got married to Brooke in 2022. He also broke his silence on Tuesday, sharing a photograph of the trio along with a statement that read, "My wife and I have not released any official statements about the death of my father-in-law. We are grieving and we are processing privately, and we're asking for respect to do so. If you see or hear anything, it did not come from us. There are many disturbing AI videos circulating that do not represent our family, our feelings, our opinions. Thank you very much for the love, support, and understanding." Now, Brooke's husband, according to Daily News, former pro hockey player Steven Oleski. This is where it comes in as to what argument developed that removed her from the will. Says that she decided to remove herself. This is her husband, right? According to Daily News, says she decided to remove herself from the will linked to the wrestling star's racist rant in his infamous sex tape. So the NHL alum, who's 39 years old, told US Weekly that his late father-in-law's earnings was not made from his years in wrestling. He's leaving behind a $25 million estate. And that money, he said, according to Daily News, was not made from the ring. He said earnings largely amounted to blood money with respect to the life-altering embarrassment that 37-year-old Brooke endured in the tape's fallout. Remember I told y'all that a sex tape got leaked? So that money does not represent accomplishments in the ring. The majority of his money came at the expense of my wife's dignity. This is Brooke's husband allegedly doing an interview with Daily News where he said the majority of Hulk Hogan's money came at the expense of his wife Brooke's dignity. Said Oleski in reference to the tape that was leaked by Gawker in 2012. Gawker is no longer in business. I think after Hulk Hogan sued the shit out of Gawker, they closed down. But Gawker released a sex tape of Hulk Hogan's daughter back in 2012. Hulk Hogan sued them, and they settled with Hulk Hogan for a whopping $31 million payment in 2016. They leaked the tape in 2012. 4 years later, he won the lawsuit against them, and they ended up having to pay out $31 million in settlement. They were being sued for way more. So they settled for that amount, which it seemed like was all that Gawker could afford because they went under. So her husband went on to say, according to this Daily News article, that it was built on hurtful comments about her and her past relationship, which caused pain not only to her, but to many other families. He's talking about the racist rants that Hulk Hogan made. My wife was put in a position to defend someone without knowing the full truth, said Oleski, who welcomed fraternal twins with Hulk Hogan's daughter earlier this year. He said that Brooke was previously unaware of the derogatory language that was directed at her and her ex. I won't go over the words, but you know how people, the N-er lover word and the N-word, E-R at the end word, right, these kinds of languages or this kind of language that was used. And he's saying that Brooke was unaware of all that it was directed at her and her ex. He said that Brooke was previously unaware and the derogatory language was directed at her and her ex, and conveniently misinformed of the transcripts. She and her ex-boyfriend, who was black, never received a direct apology from her dad. So it was this that actually caused her to say that that was the final straw and she wanted herself removed from her father's will in 2023, and that was the last time they spoke. Which kind of brings me to what my guess was when I first heard that she was removed from his will. Because nobody just ups and removes themselves from a parent's will when you and a parent are in a loving relationship, right? Well, my assumption was right according to this Daily News article that was published on July 30th of 2025. And you can go look it up. It was published in Daily News. The headline says Hulk Hogan's racist sex tape influenced Brooke to remove herself from his will. So apparently it has nothing to do with her not wanting to be a part of the fiasco that might happen, the liabilities after he passes, the financial strains, getting pulled here, there. It had more to do with that. Hey, I see them trying to clean up his legacy, because the brand must go on. And sometimes your brand outlives you. Hulk Hogan's brand will outlive him. People will watch videos of him in his heyday. They will still make those action figures which will sell a lot and make millions of dollars for somebody who is alive who can enjoy that money. It'll still go to his estate or whoever owns the right to those intellectual properties. So there's a lot of money on the table still. So it's very important to clean up his legacy so he is not seen as a racist. Because if he is seen as a racist, then all that money stops. I'll leave that one right there for you to think about. Leave your comments in the comment section below. I'll catch you on the next video. It's BrainFLoTv. I'm out. Peace.